Back at the Chicagoland Speedway, the Tropicana 400 is just underway. The leader, Ricky Rudd, about to complete the 16th of 267 laps. Kevin Harvick is right behind him in the white car. Todd Bodine, the light blue machine just out of your frame, has fallen back some 1.8 seconds in third position. Some of the new technology we have to play with on our broadcast, the Williams Energy Race Chase. Live action telemetry.
And we can see 192 miles per hour on Kevin Harvick in turn 3, down to 164. Now he will accelerate off the corner right up on the back bumper of Rudd. This should be the fastest part of the racetrack. We saw 192 down the back. We saw 196 going to turn 1. 4 miles per hour faster on the front than the back.
Hard to comprehend approaching a corner at 196 miles an hour.
This for me.
On a 1.5 mile track. And hoping it will stick when you get to the corner. Kevin Harvick ran the NASCAR Busch Series race here yesterday. What kind of an advantage do you think that gives him today over somebody like Ricky Rudd, who did not run on Saturday?
I think it had to help him. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my son the other day, and he felt like that Mark Martin and Jeff Burton, by not running the Busch Series races this year, losing some of the ability to get their car set up for Sunday by not being in the Saturday race. They felt like it was. He felt like it was a big advantage for these guys to run Saturday and then Sunday because it's the same tire. Used to it's a different tire, but now it's different.
See, these two cars right here, guys, these two cars had the most tape on the front of their cars than anybody in the garage area that I saw. Why that's important is that tape gives you more downforce in the corners. That's going to let these cars stay lower on the racetrack, and I think these two cars are going to be tough. If they can keep that tape right there, that's a lot of tape. If they keep that tape on the car without overheating the engine, that's a big plus at a racetrack like this.
Change of position with Nadeau taking 5th away from Sterling Marlin. High-tech tool here in racing, huh? Tape.
They call it 200 mile per hour tape, and really you can't race unless you use that kind of tape. Pop rivets and tape is what holds these race cars together.
Mentioned Joe Nemechek having some problems in the opening laps. Nemechek started the race in 5th position, but he's fallen all the way back to 36th. I believe Matt Yoakum can get us an update on what's gone wrong there. Matt?
Alan, Joe Nemechek finished 5th in Saturday's Busch race. He entered this event very confident, but currently his number 33 car is very loose. They're hoping to hold on and not lose a lap before the first caution so they can tighten this up. Currently, Andy Petrie and Joe are going over what adjustments to try to make to this race car to fix this ill-handling machine.
That's tough, man. When you're only 20 laps into a race and your car is that loose, very tough to drive. All you're trying to do is keep it from getting in the fence, and you're just hoping for a yellow so you can get in and make some adjustments.
Dale Jarrett creeping in on Sterling Marlin for 6th place.
And you wonder, how could that happen immediately? You know, because they practiced yesterday. How could that happen? Because they were not happy with the car. A lot of these teams, oh, we got a car in the wall. Is that Skinner?
Mike Skinner.
Oh, hard contact.
And it looked like, Benny, that he cut a right front tire down on that one. That car just took off to the right.
Probably knocked the fuel pump off it. That's where the fire's coming from under the hood.
Come on, Mikey, get on out.
That was a hard lick.
See this caution at lap 23.
He had a good in-car shot of that. And it, I believe he cut right front.
See the safety workers.
Right here, folks. That's a tire mark. That's a tire going down. And there's nothing you can do, Benny, when that happens. When you're going into a corner 195 miles an hour and you blow a tire, you are along for the ride.
It's the most helpless feeling in the whole wide world because you see the wall coming, you know what's going to happen, you know you're going to be hurt. There's nothing you can do except sit there and take it.
Safety workers there with Skinner as the pace car gathers up the field and gets it under control. Second crash of the weekend for Skinner. He had a crash here on Friday morning in practice where in turn 4 the car got out from under him and backed into the fence. Pretty hard crash that one was.
See,
Pit road is open.
Jimmy Spencer has decided to come down pit road, make some adjustments on his car, but no one else. I mean, you talk about a city. He's the only guy. Oh, here comes several more cars, but all these cars losing so much track position, especially Jimmy Spencer.
Spencer was 7th before coming down pit road. Everyone else that's coming into pit was from about the 18th spot on back. Bill?
Well, Jimmy Spencer has told his crew his car is just too loose, so they're going to make a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment on the right rear. 4 tires, top him off with fuel. He'll have to go around Mark Martin, who's pitted directly in front of him. Several guys stayed out because there's talk of a NASCAR caution at lap 40 to Dave Burns.
Ken Schrader and Dale Earnhardt Jr. came in and took on 4 tires. I didn't see any adjustments on Schrader's car. And FYI, NASCAR was going to throw a caution at lap 40 just to check tires if there wasn't one earlier. Unfortunately, we've gotten one earlier, and now the teams will have a chance to look over the tires. Wear has not been an issue, but heat buildup has been an issue here, and that's what they want them to check. Let's go to Matt Yoakum. Joe Nemechek also pitted. We told you his car was loose in the center and off. They made a track bar adjustment and air pressure adjustment, trying to fix that ill-handling race car.
Now let's update the lap 40 issue. NASCAR said in the drivers' meeting they would throw a caution at lap 40. As you see the safety workers helping Mike Skinner away from his car.
Well, that's a good sign to see Mike at least walking or limping anyway, but he took a lick. That was a hard hit.
In the crash he had on Friday, he did bang pretty hard one of his feet in that car, so he may just have aggravated what was already sore from the other day. But boy, what a hard hit for Mike Skinner, and it's good to see him coming out of that race car. Let's go back and take another look at what happened to Mike Skinner.
Goes down the corner, and we've talked about the right front tire. I guess he cut it down, it goes flat, and we've talked about there's nothing you can do except go straight in the wall. There was the right side window coming out, and this car, folks, we've seen race cars torn up and the body fly off. This car is junk. This car is destroyed.
Looking ahead now from Dale Jarrett.
Right there, you see the tire go down, see the smoke, and you see how fast that thing goes up the racetrack into the wall.
So Mike Skinner is out of his car, but we are caution. 25 laps into the Tropicana 400 at Chicagoland. The Tropicana 400 under caution at the Chicagoland Speedway after Mike Skinner cut down a tire and crashed in turn 1. Let's finish out the story about the lap 40 caution. NASCAR said in the drivers' meeting they would throw a caution at lap 40. Not if there wasn't one beforehand. There will be another yellow at lap 40, so it'll be interesting to see how many of those drivers that stopped under this caution stay out then for track position.
We saw Mike Skinner crash, and we saw the flame when he lost that tire down in turn 1. There he goes up, bam, in the wall, and there's the fire. And look under the hood of the car. On the right side, we see the fire. As he comes to a stop, we see the fire building under the hood. What happens on these General Motors cars, the fuel pump sits over by the frame rail. Let's go inside our virtual garage, and I'll show you. There's the fuel pump. When the car hits the wall, the frame rail goes over, breaks the the fuel pump, I should say. Gasoline spurts back on the hot exhaust system, which is about 1,500 degrees, and that's where the fire comes from.
While the cleanup continues, let's take a break. Under caution at lap 27 of the Tropicana 400 at Chicagoland.